Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I'm super excited for this week's Vinyasa flow class because it is a binding practice and I love binds. They're a great way to open the shoulders, open the chest. And going into a bind and a pose allows you to go deeper. So you find more of a stretch. Well, this isn't ideal. I'm hoping that isn't going to carry on through the class. It's quite good actually, because when I talk into the microphone, it should just pick up my voice and then I'll try and mute the bits in between. That's good timing. Okay, what was I even saying? Binds. So when you go into a bind, it allows you to deepen the pose. And you can modify by using a strap, using anything that you can get hold of just to place between the hands so you have a little bit more space. If you're quite tight in the shoulders, this can be a little bit challenging, but we are going to be doing a little bit of a warm-up as well. So we're going to be binding in all sorts of poses, seated poses, standing and balancing as well. So it's going to be a fun but challenging practice. So listen to your body, practice with kindness. We never want to push ourselves to the point where it feels painful, especially in the shoulder joint with our binds, but it might feel a little uncomfortable, but we just want to breathe through it. This is a great way to also strengthen the mind. So grab your mat and we will go and get started. So we are going to begin our practice in a thunderbolt pose. So if this is uncomfortable, you can sit onto a cushion or onto a block, but we're going to sit onto the shins, keeping the inner thighs together and the knees pointing forwards. And we're not going to be here for too long either, so don't worry if this is a little bit uncomfortable on the front of the ankles or the quads. So we are just going to begin by letting the hands rest. Let them rest onto the tops of the thighs. Gently close the eyes and just draw in a nice deep inhale, allowing this inhale to lengthen all the way through the spine. Allow the exhale to keep length through the spine, but just relax the face, relax the shoulders, soften the arms and the hands. Let your mind arrive with the body in this practice. So find the present moment. Notice how the body feels. Notice the flow of breath. Notice how the mat feels underneath the body. Notice any other sensations arising. Completely experiencing this moment through the senses. Any sounds, any smells. And by doing this, by checking in with the senses, it brings us into the present moment. And we want to stay here as we move through our practice. Making this one big moving meditation, one big practice of presence. And just take a few deep rounds of the breath. We want to also stay with the breath. With every inhale, it's going to allow us to find length through the spine. With every exhale, it's going to allow us to twist and open with each bind. And slowly from here, just interlacing the fingers together, take the palms to the back of the head. As you exhale, chin tucks in and the elbows point down, slightly rounding into the upper back. Breathe into any tightness across the back of the neck, the tops of the shoulders, and maybe just tilt the chin from left to right. Keeping the hands on the head, inhale to open up through the chest. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, pressing the elbows back behind us, pushing the back of the head in towards the hands. So we're opening up through the chest, maybe lifting up the gaze, sending that awareness to the third eye. And just drawing in a big inhale here, and as we exhale, leaning to the side. And it doesn't matter which side. Bring awareness all the way through the side of the body, breathing into any tightness. Inhaling back to center and exhaling just to switch. Inhaling back to center, keeping the fingers interlaced, press the palms up towards the ceiling. Find length all the way through the spine. And then exhale, just release, let the hands come down. Slowly moving forward into our tabletop position. On an inhale, sweep the right arm up and let the gaze follow. Looking up towards the right thumb. As we exhale, right arm behind the back. Reaching down towards that left thigh or just the side of the hip. And we're really rotating the chest open. Breathing into any tightness across the upper back, or chest or shoulder. Release the bind, inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread the needle. Come down to your right shoulder, right side of the head. Left hand can stay where it is, or reach up and take it around the back for our bind here. Finding 3 rounds of the breath. And then releasing that bind, left hand under the left shoulder. Inhale, reach all the way up. One last time. And then find that bind again. Maybe opening up that shoulder, the elbow a little further. Inhale. And exhale down. Switching sides, inhale, left arm lifts. Looking up towards the thumb, opening up through the chest, exhale, binding round the back of that. Left hand coming down towards the right hip, or we're reaching for the thigh. Spinning open up the chest. Inhaling to reach back up. And exhaling to thread our needle left arm underneath the right. Staying here or finding that bind around the back. And just pausing, keeping that awareness turned inwards. And releasing the bind, reaching up, inhale. Exhale, hands come down, and on an inhale we sweep back up. Left arm towards the ceiling. And exhale one last time, just finding that bind around the back. Inhale and exhale down. Drawing in an inhale in tabletop and exhale into your downward facing dog. Take a few rounds of the breath just to walk out your down dog. Finding whatever subtle little movements the body needs here. And then finding stillness in your down dog and just sending the gaze towards the hands. Slowly start to walk the feet forward. Making your way to the top of the mat. Soft bend into the knees, just find the elbows and let the crown of the head drop. Take a moment to just rock out from side to side, releasing any tension from the upper body, from the neck and the head. And slowly release the arms, let an inhale roll you up to standing. And from here, keep the core switched on, the tailbone drawing down. We're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades together and down. Shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze the chest open on an inhale, maybe lift the gaze. And on an exhale, hinging at the hips, little bend into the knees. Exhale to fold, let the arms follow. We're going to start to wake up the shoulders a little bit more and the hamstrings. So we're going to do this a few times. Keep the fingers interlaced behind the back. Let an inhale bring you up. Keep the core switched on, chest opens at the top. Exhale. Using a little bit of strength just to draw the arms away from the body. Crown of the head drops down. Let an inhale bring you back up. Opening up at the top. Last time, exhale to fold. And then from here, just start to heel toe your feet to the edges of the mat. On an inhale, bring the hands to the fronts of the shins or down to the ankles. As you inhale, lengthen the spine, open the chest. And we're going to take a little twist here. So left hand is going to replace the right hand. And then we're going to start to open up the chest. Left shoulder draws underneath the right shoulder, looking up towards the thumb. Maybe finding that little extra bind around the back to open up through the chest. If this is too much, take your hand to a block or to the mat. Releasing that bind, inhale, and exhale, switch straight to the other side. Inhale, reaches up the left arm. Let the gaze follow. Maybe on that exhale, finding that little extra bind around the back. Inhale to reach up and exhale to bring both hands down to the mat. You can bend the knees. We're going to step back with our left foot, lowering all the way down to our left knee. And maybe just wiggling that right foot back up the mat. So we're in our lizard pose. Our right knee is over the right ankle and both hands are on the inside of our right foot. We're just going to stay for a few rounds of breath, stretching into the hips. I always like to bring a little rock in here so you can have a little move from side to side. And we're still warming into the back and into the chest and the shoulders, so we'll find another little twist here. Left hand stays down as we inhale, right arm lifts. Keep the hips dropping forward, they'll want to pull back. And we're stacking the shoulders, opening up the chest. Maybe you can find another little bind here. Pressing that right shoulder away. Reaching up on an inhale and exhale all the way back down. Back toes tuck underneath. Knee lifts and just hold for a breath. Maybe finding a little bit more of a stretch through the front of that left hip. And then step that left foot back to the top of the mat. And we switch to the left side. Step back with the right foot. Lower down to the right knee. And again, maybe bringing in that little rock from side to side. Just warming up a little bit more into the hips. And we can open up on an inhale, left arm towards the left leg. Keep relaxing the hips forward, gazing up towards that left thumb. Maybe finding that half bind around the back. Inhaling to reach back up and exhaling to draw all the way down. Back toes tuck underneath, lift up the knee, finding that stretch into the front of the hips, and instead of stepping forward, we're going to step back to our plank. So slightly push up into the shoulders, switch the core on, draw the left leg back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And just pausing in down dog for a few rounds of the breath. On an inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog, pointing into the right toes, pressing down through the left heel. Plant the right foot between the hands, turn the left heel in. Inhale to warrior two. Back hip drops down and forward. Shoulders down, just reaching through the fingers. Flip the front palm, core stays strong, reverse. Let an inhale bring you back to warrior two. Let an exhale just take forearm to the top of the thigh first, sweeping that left arm up and over to rotate open through the chest. So you can bind from here, you can find a half bind round the back. Maybe that's as far as we're going, or you can drop down, bringing the right hand inside of the right foot. Left arm opens. Half bind round the back, reaching towards that right thigh, or full bind, and this is where you can use your strap. In full bind, it's tempting to rest, but we want to draw up and away, spinning that left shoulder open, lifting the gaze. If the neck starts to ache, it can look down. We're going to pause for 3 rounds of the breath. Gently releasing that bind, right hand down, left arm lifts. Push through the right foot, let the inhale bring you up and out of the hip crease, warrior two. Straightening out the front leg, reaching forward, drop the front hip down and lift the back hip up. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. As we exhale, fingers are hovering off the mat. Back of the hand presses to the inside of the leg and we find our triangle pose. Again, you can hold it here, find a half bind around the back. To take it further, we come down into extended side angle, find our bind and extend back into that right leg. Opening up the chest, so we want to keep our left shoulder drawing back, spinning open towards the side. Again, we've got 3 breaths, have a play around here. Listen to your body. Gently release the bind. Bending into that front knee as we inhale, warrior two. So we're going to take it into half moon from here. For your challenge, you're going to bind in your half moon, but you can come into it either way. So if we're coming into a half bind, half moon, right hand comes down in line with the right foot. Left leg lifts, hips stack, shoulders stack, and we take this left arm around the back for our half bind. If we're finding a full bind, I like to come into it from our extended side angle. So find the bind, send the gaze down and start to walk in the left foot, hips will square. And then we want to balance on the left big toe. Keep the gaze fixed at one point on the mat. We're gonna wobble, but that's good. And then see if we can extend that leg up behind us. Foot is flexed, hips start to open. Have a play around, you can wobble around, be mindful of the shoulder. We've just got a few more breaths here. And if you're in your bound half moon, see if you can release that bind and step back into warrior two. Inhale and exhale just to sink down, reach through the fingers. Exhale, cartwheel the hands around the front foot, turning onto the back toes, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lengthen, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, standing palms together overhead, drawing the energy up through the body. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen, and exhale, step or float back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. And just pausing in your down dog for a few rounds of the breath. And we're switching sides. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Point through the left toes and gently press down through the right heel. Left foot steps between the hands, back heel turns in. Drawing all the way up, warrior two on our left side. Sinking into your warrior two, finding that stretch through the inside of the right leg. Core stays strong, flip the front palm, inhale, reverse. Inhaling, coming back up to warrior two, letting the core draw you up. And exhale, just seeing how your extended side angle feels on this side. Maybe staying on the thighs, you find that half bind. Maybe dropping to the inside of the left foot. For half bind again, or our full bind, drawing up and away from the left thigh, spinning the right shoulder back. And keep breathing here, letting each inhale lengthen the spine, and each exhale open the chest. Left hand down, right arm lifts. Inhale back up to warrior two. Straightening out the front leg. Triangle, so back hip lifts as the front hip drops down. Pressing the back of the hand inside of the leg. And again, you can find a half bind here around the back. Or you can take it down into your full bind. And you don't have to lock the knee out. We don't really want the knee to be locked out. So trying to keep a little tiny micro bend into it. And rotating that chest back open. And releasing that bind if you're in it. Drawing back up on an inhale, finding warrior two. And exhale, start to think about how you want to move into your half moon. So maybe just floating into it, finding a half bind. Or maybe coming in through your extended side angle. Walking the back toes in. The hips will square. And then once that back leg is lifted, we can work to stack the hips open. We really do want to embrace all the wobbles in this pose and keep breathing. One more breath. And see if you can release back into that half moon and take it back into warrior two. Exhale. From here, turning to the long side of the mat and just walking the feet all the way in. So we're standing, you can stand at the front of the mat if you prefer, but we want our feet to be underneath the hips. Inhale, sweep the palms up and overhead. Big exhale all the way down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen the spine and open the chest. So you might have to bring your hands onto blocks. Or you might have to bring the hand to the shin. But if you can, take the left hand down, bend into the left knee, straighten out the right leg. Inhale, right arm opens, let the gaze follow. Half bind around the back, hold it here, or full bind. Left arm comes through the inside of the left leg and finds the right hand, spinning open up the chest. You can hold here or take bird of paradise and the gaze down. Shift weight into the right foot and let the inhale draw you up. Maybe extending into that left leg at the top, and you can always do this against a wall. Keeping the gaze high, keep breathing. Well done. Maybe you can come down with the bind. So keeping that bind as you slowly place that left foot down. Release, inhale, halfway lengthen. And exhale, take it to that right side, right hand down, bending into the right knee. Straighten out the left leg as you inhale, left arm lifts. Exhaling to half bind. Maybe find that full bind going through the inside of the right leg. If you want to play around with your balance, shift the weight down, weight into the left foot and draw up on your inhale. Play around with extending into that top leg. Strong through the standing leg. Find a point to stare at, find your drishti. And slowly coming down, see if you can keep that bind. Releasing when that right foot is down, inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Slowly bring the hands down and start to heel toe the feet. So the heels are a little bit wider than the hips, toes turned out. Slowly sink down into your yogi squat. Tailbone points down, chest lifts towards the thumbs. Grow tall on an inhale. And just relax the face, relax the shoulders on your exhale. You might want to stay here, maybe give the shoulders and arms a little rest. We open up on that inhale. Right arm in front of the right leg, left arm sweeps up. Half bind around the back, or full bind, and you can use your strap here as well. Rotating the left shoulder back, spinning the chest open towards the left. And gently bringing the hands back to the heart center. And switching to the left side. Again, with or without a bind. Keep that right knee pressing back, gaze lifting. Coming back to center. Slowly coming down to seated, just give the legs a little shake out. And we're going to turn around and find a nice little twist here. So taking our right foot to the outside of the left thigh, bring the right fingertips behind the back. On an inhale, sweep up with the left arm. And on an exhale, if you can, we're going to hook our left elbow. If not, you can hug the leg in to the outside of the right thigh. Let an inhale lengthen the spine, go tall through the crown of the head. And let an exhale open up the chest. So this is where you can find your bind. We're sending the left arm through the outside of the right leg. And sort of through that gap in the middle. Right arm comes around the back and finds that left hand. And again, inhale, we lengthen. And exhale to twist. Breathing deep into the abdominals, creating space in the body with each exhale. Slowly come back to center. So from here, we're going to take our right foot up into the left hip crease. And I do have an option if this is a little bit too tricky. We want it to be really high up so that we can find a bind. Right arm comes round and finds the right foot. Exhale, we fold over the left leg. Our option is to find a half butterfly, bring the right foot inside of the left thigh, and exhale to fold. Wherever you are, we're just going to find a few rounds of the breath, trying to lengthen from the base of the spine up to the crown of the head on the inhale, and fold the belly down, then the chest, and the head on the exhale. Slowly coming up on your inhale, and releasing that foot. Left foot outside of the right thigh. Left fingertips behind the back. Inhale, reach up, and exhale to twist. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. Maybe finding that bind. And if you found that bind, take another deep inhale, lengthen, and another exhale to twist. Breathing into any tightness, breathing into any discomfort, as long as there's no pain in the joints. Just be okay with feeling a little uncomfortable here. Slowly letting go of the bind. If you're in it, left foot is going to come up into the right hip crease, or we have our option to just bring the foot to the inside of the leg. Now you can also do this without the bind, but for it to be comfortable, we really want that left foot to be quite high up the hip crease. Left arm around the back. Inhale, find length through the spine, and exhale to fold. Keep finding that length with each inhale. So maybe we draw more of the belly down, draw more of the body down, further down the leg. Slowly coming up on your inhale. And gently release all binds, give the legs a shake out. Just come down onto your back. We're going to take it straight into our Shavasana. Let our body download all the benefits from our binds. Just let the palms open, let the feet drop out to the sides. Just 1 minute, but there's nowhere else for you to be. There's no position that you need to hold. You can allow the physical body to completely let go. Give yourself this little break. When the mind wanders, bring it back. We don't want to let our mind take us away from the peace of this Shavasana. And slowly inviting some gentle movement back into the body. Maybe hugging the knees in, rocking the back from side to side just to release. And in your own time, just making your way back to seated. Take a moment to bring the palms to the heart center. Taking in a big inhale, let it lengthen the spine. Just letting out a big exhale. Letting go of all that tension we've released from the body through our binds, through opening up the shoulders and the chest and the upper back, which is a place that tends to store a lot of tension. Feel the lightness in the body. Keep this openness, this receptiveness, this awareness with you as you leave your mat and you head into your day, into your evening. Thank yourself for this practice and bow the head to the heart. Namaste.